WVII Bangor.
And streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, Waterville's police department is using an innovative approach to combat the opioid epidemic. Plus, a big rally is planned today by Maine lobstermen as they battle new regulations. And a big victory for people who have been fighting to clean up the Penobscot River. We'll tell you all about it. Good morning, everyone. I am Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us at Good Morning Maine. Emma is off today. Looks like not a bad day ahead. We'll see a few more clouds today, but the temperatures will be quite nice. Let's check in with Devin Biggs for a first look at our forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. Alrighty, as we start things off this morning, just like yesterday, more dense fog developing in a few spots this morning. So as you do head out the door for any activities this morning or work or school, definitely keep this in mind and just be alert of that this morning. It might be hard to see for a few areas, but this will be going away rather soon. We do have some other alerts in effect too. Gale watches in effect until 11 a.m. on Friday, with small craft advisories up until 8 p.m. further down toward the coast. That's also on Friday. A system is going to be moving through it. It's going to stir the ocean up, so the wave heights that are very low now will get active again later on. But zooming in back here at home, we're looking pretty good. The skies are relatively clear. We just had the fog moving in this morning, but everyone else looking pretty decent. But here's our next system off toward the west, moving off towards the east. Those are good chances for some rain showers coming up later on in the week. But moving forward, though, Futurecast showing increasing clouds throughout the day and especially into the evening time frame. Maybe more dense fog again, but those clouds holding on for the daytime tomorrow. The winds will be out of the southwest at about 5 miles per hour to start things off. We'll keep them out of the south and increasing a little bit more, which will help to push a little bit more in a way of warm air in our direction. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, warming up into the upper 60s by the afternoon period with a partly cloudy sky. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, first in our news today, the trial of a Stockton Springs mother accused of killing her 3-year-old son has now been postponed for 1 week. Our A.J. Douglas has the latest.
The lead attorney for the state has tested positive for COVID-19, which prompted Justice Robert Murray to pause court proceedings.
Jessica Williams stands accused of killing her 3-year-old son, Maddox Williams, back in 2021. According to police records, the child suffered a fractured spine, bruises, broken teeth, bleeding in his brain, and other injuries. Williams is also widely known by a different alias, including Jessica Trefethen. Court officials confirmed the trial will resume October 17th. In studio, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Well, meanwhile, the Kennebec County Sheriff's Office has issued a silver alert for 71-year-old Michael Holmes of Vienna. According to Maine State Police, Mr. Holmes was last seen on foot leaving a residence on Tower Road in Vienna on Thursday. That was back on October 6th, and he had plans to go to Winthrop. He has not been seen by his family ever since that time. Police say Mr. Holmes suffers from cognitive issues. He is described as being a white male, 6 feet tall, 225 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Mr. Holmes does not have his cell phone on him, and it is unknown what he was wearing when he left. If you see him or have any information, please call 911 or the Kennebec County Sheriff's Office at 624-7076. Authorities are investigating the discovery of human remains in Acadia National Park. Acadia National Park Public Affairs Assistant Nate Parkinson says the remains were found last week. He says although it is not a criminal case, National Park Service Rangers and Maine State Police are investigating. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Well, Auburn police are investigating a shooting at a residence on Turner Street. According to Lieutenant Anthony Harrington, police were dispatched to 250 Turner Street around 10 p.m. Monday after the caller reported someone had just shot their television. Officers confirmed a shot had been fired into the first-floor apartment from the outside. Nobody was injured, and the suspected shooter had fled the scene by the time police arrived. Investigators believe the apartment was targeted, and this was not a random act. The investigation remains active, and anyone with information is asked to contact Detective Matthew Johnson at 333-6650. Waterville Police Department's HOPE program is one of many ongoing efforts to combat the current opioid epidemic. Matthew Jurancic with that story.
Just the fact that they walk through those two front doors, the first thing I always say is how proud I am of them.
Waterville Police Department's Hope Angel Beverly Fairchild says she's encouraged every time she sees someone suffering from an opioid addiction seeking help. She's part of Operation Hope, or Heroin Opiate Prevention Effort. Operation Hope Coordinator Robert Booley says Hope Angels work with the police department to combat the current opioid crisis and support those seeking recovery.
It is the part that actually is helping place and get people into treatment facilities. And then the other parts we have is education and enforcement. But it's a very valuable one because it affects not just the person with the addiction, but it also affects the families. So it's making a big difference in that factor.
Started in 2017 by Richland Chief Deputy Joseph Massey and Waterville Deputy Chief of Police William Bonney, Operation Hope has been embraced by the Waterville community.
They both noticed that, hey, we're enforcing the laws and we're getting drugs off the streets, but at the same time, we have a lot of people who are being affected by the use of the drugs, and that the community is greatly affected.
It starts right here with this phone call, where a phone call is made to a detox center before being put into detox houses like right behind me to fight addiction.
It just warms my heart. It just warms my heart seeing the sense of relief knowing that there's a plan, that they have a plan to get help. It can be a day or two before we can actually get them into a detox facility because of a shortage of beds.
At one point during the pandemic, Operation Hope coordinator Robert Booley says he and his team had to overcome many obstacles.
Even through COVID, which was a hard time because we couldn't do, our different Operation Hope fundraisers, but we've made it through with different donations from the city and or from businesses.
Although the state saw a record number of overdose deaths last year, Fairchild believes that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be, I want to change my life. I can't do this anymore. Well, at the end, when they leave, it's just that, again, they have a sense of relief and knowing that help is on the way.
Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
In other news this morning, Maine Republicans addressed concerns over rising heating costs. During a press conference, Republican legislators criticized Governor Janet Mills and Efficiency Maine for the 2019 incentive program, which provides rebates and financial assistance to purchase electric cars. The 2019 initiative also authorized the expansion of public charging stations. Legislators spoke in opposition to the program by arguing that funding is geared toward wealthy Mainers and saying the funding should instead go toward helping those struggling to keep up with heating oil costs as winter approaches. Democrats argue efficiency programs are taking steps to ultimately decrease heating costs around the state.
The Mainers in Piscataquis, Penobscot, and all of our counties that are struggling already to pay their heating bills. We have a large increase in the number of applicants for heating assistance. Up to over 20,000 people have applied.
These oil prices are because of a supply and demand problem that's out of our control. We need to diversify and reduce our demand here in the state of Maine. We need to do it nationally if we're ever going to get control of these prices.
Republican legislators are proposing to reverse and even end policies that they say cause electric costs to rise. A new easy-to-read voter guide is now available thanks to the efforts of the League of Women Voters in Maine. Those who log on to vote411.org will find examples of sample ballots, how ranked choice voting works, and information on in-person and absentee voting. Jen Lancaster with the League of Women Voters says Maine says her organization is a nonpartisan political group that strives to make voting more accessible and understandable for all who cast a ballot.
We'll see, this is what a yes vote means, this is what a no vote means, so that you actually know what will happen depending on which way that you vote. So we want people to understand that, of course, there are the really big races, but there are also those really important local races like town council, city council, school board, and those decisions can greatly impact where you are.
The League of Women Voters also plans to distribute tangible copies of the voter guide to local libraries so more voters have access to what will be available on this year's ballot. Well, the time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about a big rally planned by Maine lobstermen today as they fight regulations that many believe could devastate the industry. But first, let's take another look at our forecast. Not a bad day today. Highs up around 69 degrees. Here we are in mid-October. How about that? Tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day. The highs staying up there in the mild range, around 66 degrees. We hope you enjoy it.
I have a great job. I get up early, head on out, and I get to work. I install solar panels. They power our homes and give me a great paycheck. When Paul LePage was governor, he opposed projects like this, putting Maine last for solar jobs in New England. He even said that climate change wasn't a threat to Maine. Look, we need more of these jobs, and that won't happen if we go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Looking to improve or upgrade your home or place of business? With at-home furniture, appliance, and bedding, and kitchen and bath and flooring, we offer a great selection to do just that. From homeowners to commercial businesses and everything in between, our friendly professionals with more than 50 years of combined experience pride themselves in going above and beyond to work with you every step of the way. And we even offer a full-service appliance repair department. Come and visit us at our Dover Foxcroft or our new Lincoln location. Stop in either location today and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Hello, Eastern Maine. Watch You Bet Your Life weekdays at 10 a.m. here on ABC 7.
Did you complete the plumbing?
Yeah, the plumbing is done.
No, Your Honor. I still have the shower, the faucet, and the water heater.
It's done? Yes or no?
Oh, they finished plumbing. No.
Are you sure?
Hot Bench, Wednesday at 3 on ABC 7.
Welcome back. A huge rally in support of Maine fishermen will be held today in Portland. Lobstermen and their supporters from all around the state are expected to gather outside DeMillo's restaurant at noon. They say it's a chance for them to talk directly to the public and to those running for office. Lobstermen fear proposed regulations to protect right whales will end up putting some of them out of business, sending an economic shockwave through all the businesses that rely on the industry. We'll also be at today's rally, and we'll have a live report on our noon broadcast today. Maine lobster fishermen have also hired a former high-ranking U.S. Department of Justice official to represent them in their case against those new federal laws. The Maine Lobstermen's Association is appealing its case against the new rules to the U.S. Court of Appeals for D.C. District Court. The group said Tuesday it has hired Paul Clement, who once served as U.S. Solicitor General from 2004 until 2008, to represent them in the case. Clemens said NOAA is required by statute to take into account the best scientific and commercial data, and he believes the agency has failed to do that.
The Lobstermen's Association and everybody, I think, cares very much about protecting endangered species. But the statute requires the agency to strike a balance based on the best available science. And instead, the agency here has essentially erred on the side of the species at every turn and indulged a series of worst-case scenarios as opposed to what's likely to happen in the real world.
Clement said this is an instance of agency overreach, and what drew him to the case is the undeniable impact to real people and an iconic industry. He said there is no doubt that the future of the industry is now hanging in the balance. A 2-decade-long legal battle ends after a judge ruled in favor of a $187 million settlement over mercury cleanup in the Penobscot River. The settlement requires Mallinckrodt LLC to pay for mercury remediation methods. According to the Maine People's Alliance, the plant, located in Orrington on the banks of the Penobscot River, released tons of mercury into the river over the span of several years. Maine People's Alliance and Natural Resources Defense Council initially sued Mallinckrodt back in 2001 to advocate for cleanup efforts. Jesse Graham began working with the Maine People's Alliance in 1999 when that lawsuit was filed. The organization's co-director says Tuesday's ruling is really just the beginning.
Much cleaner river, surely a much cleaner river. I don't know if we'll ever get it clean, but I think that we're really excited about the ruling and that this will go forward. So, this will restore the river.
The chlorine plant was ordered to pay at least $187 million and up to $267 million to an independent trust that will fund and implement restoration efforts on the river. Mallinckrodt spokesperson Mark Robinson sent a statement saying in part, quote, "We are very pleased that Judge Woodcock has approved the settlement. The parties reached the agreement after thorough and thoughtful discussions." Well, temperatures are dropping, and we all know it's going to get a lot colder. There's a special rebate program, though, that will help Mainers stay warm and manage their heating bills during the upcoming winter season. Efficiency Maine has a limited-time winter prep rebate, which will reimburse homeowners and tenants up to $100 toward the purchase of select weatherization and insulation products, including weather stripping, spray foam, sealant, window insulation, shrink kits, and foam board insulation, among others. The details are available on the Efficiency Maine website. They also have a downloadable flyer providing winter energy savings tips. Well, the time now is 6:16. After the break, the latest on the war in Ukraine and the potential for nuclear action. Plus, a couple from the town of Clinton has made hundreds of special quilts, and they're all to benefit the less fortunate. Don't go away.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time, or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard to buy for a relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors. But the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare. And he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, watch out. Watch out. The insurance company's job is to do what's best for them, not you. Watch out. If you wait too long to hire a lawyer, it may hurt your case.
Don't trust that insurance company after your accident. You could miss out on a lot of money. Call the Twos and we'll watch out for you.
Lowry and Associates watched out for me and got me $150,000.
Call the Twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Welcome back, everyone. The time now is 6:18. Time to get a full look at our forecast. Meteorologist Devin Biggs in now with the latest. Good morning, Devin.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. Alrighty, dense fog is kind of the name of the game this morning. No alerts in effect at this point, though. But we're noticing near the Waterville area, near Rockland, just to name a few areas. Then further out towards the east as well. This may overspread a little bit more with a few other areas where we're seeing good visibility. So just keep that in mind. You might notice some dense fog or patchy fog in a few areas. But of course, with everything going on, we do have gale watches that are in effect, lasting till about 2 p.m. on Friday. While further down toward the south, though, we do have small craft advisories up until 8 p.m. on Friday as well. A system is going to be moving in. It's going to really help to stir the ocean up, courtesy of all the excitement moving in as we move forward later in the week. But for now, though, we're looking pretty good out there. We do have plenty of clear skies to start things off, so the fog will be going away later this morning as the sun comes out. As you give you the big picture, though, high pressure is right nearby. It's this system we have our eye on. This will give us showers moving in later on in the week, and maybe even some heavy downpours from time to time, too, as we head towards Friday and even into parts of Saturday as well. the wave heights, man, look how calm this is right now. You can tell high pressure is nearby because we're at around 1 to 2 feet right now. Of course, with low pressure moving in soon, I'll stir up the ocean. Yesterday, we hit the upper 50s, which was a couple of degrees below normal, as our average high temperature is at 60 degrees. We'll be in the upper 60s today. We'll be above normal. Then we'll stay in the lower to middle 60s for the next several days, at least through Monday. Then back in the middle 50s as we head towards Tuesday. So yet again, another cool down on the way. Latest fall foliage, this is from last week. A new one comes out later today, so we might see some changes with these reports out of Millinocket, Bangor, Ellsworth, and Greenville. Many of us are reporting near peak or at peak. We'll start seeing some more of these change as, of course, things progress forward. Futurecast moving forward, though, fog this morning will be going away. We'll be watching for increasing clouds throughout the rest of the daytime period, though. Then later on tonight, though, clouds and, of course, more fog again. But as the day moves on, the fog goes away, but the clouds stick around. But any chances for precipitation should hold off until we head towards your Friday, with a long line of showers and a few rumbles of thunder may be possible in a few areas. For today, we're dry. Upper 60s, partly cloudy. The south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 40s, mostly cloudy with areas of dense fog again. That south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy. We should stay dry for most of the day. Highs in the mid-60s. A gusty south wind up to around 25 miles per hour. Boosted auto and diesel extended forecast. The rain really gets going by Friday. Lingering into Saturday, temperatures in the low to middle 60s those days. The remaining in the middle 60s as we head towards your Sunday with a partly cloudy sky.
Harvested in the backwoods of Maine. Processed at one of 4 lumber mills across the state. And sold locally at a Ware Butler location near you. With delivery available statewide. Ware Butler Building Supply, Maine, from start to finish.
At Home Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring in Dover Foxcroft are proud members of the Flooring Network here in Maine. We have our flooring installers on staff ready for you and your custom flooring project. With over 50 years of combined experience, we'll work with you from start to finish, including demo and cleanup. Backed by the Flooring Network's state-of-the-art warehouses, we have a massive inventory to provide you with the best value and fit any flooring budget you may have. So stop in, meet our flooring experts, and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carroll Harper & Associates today.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Since being elected, Joe has been a champion of our schools, students, and teachers. Joe Baldacci delivered full funding of all the public schools in Bangor and Herman. Joe Baldacci delivered on free in-school meals for all students in need. Joe Baldacci delivered on free community college to bolster the workforce skills of Maine workers. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Delivering results for Bangor.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Now to the war in Ukraine. The president now says he does not believe Vladimir Putin will use nuclear weapons on the battlefield there after delivering a stirring warning to Moscow last week, saying Putin's nuclear threats could result in Armageddon. It comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is pleading with world leaders for more air defense systems for his country after a barrage of Russian missiles attacks earlier this week. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest from Washington.
This morning, President Biden now saying he does not think Russian President Vladimir Putin will use nuclear weapons on the battlefield in Ukraine, telling CNN,
I don't think he will. I think he is a rational actor who's miscalculated significantly.
But warned that Putin's threats could lead to catastrophic mistakes, telling a fundraiser last week, we have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis.
And the whole point I was making was it could lead to just a horrible outcome. And not because anybody intends to turn it into a world war or anything, but it just, once you use a nuclear weapon, the mistakes that can be made, the miscalculations, who knows what would happen.
It comes after the president and other G7 leaders participated in an emergency virtual meeting. Hearing from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who pleaded for more air defense systems to help establish an air shield over his country. Zelensky's appeal following 2 days of Russian missile attacks on Ukrainian cities, killing civilians. Other missiles knocking out power. In the city of Lviv, shops and restaurants operating in the dark. In the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, where missiles struck at the heart of the city Monday, even hitting a playground. People shaken but undeterred. This woman saying, they continue to attack us. They keep scaring us. We will resist. Yesterday, the White House said they were open to Zelensky's request for more air defense systems. At least 26 Ukrainians have died so far from those 2 days of Russian missile attacks.
Well, meanwhile, a Florida jury will begin deciding today whether the gunman in the 2018 school shooting rampage in Parkland, Florida, will face the death penalty. ABC's Andrea Fuji has the closing arguments from both sides.
This morning, the fate of the Parkland, Florida school shooter is in the hands of a jury as the prosecution asks for death.
It's unrelentlessly cruel. The appropriate sentence for Nicholas Cruz is the death penalty.
Closing arguments were heard yesterday in the trial of Nicholas Cruz, who pleaded guilty to shooting and killing 17 people, 14 students and 3 teachers on Valentine's Day 2018 at his former school, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. The prosecutor insisting that execution is the only appropriate punishment for Cruz, describing him as a cold-blooded killer, hunting in the hallways for victims with an AR-15.
Fires a third shot, and as she runs, he shoots her and severs her spinal cord.
And reminding the jury of Cruz's plan, recorded before the murders.
Going to be the next school shooter of 2018.
The defense asking instead for a life sentence, calling Cruz, now 24, broken, suffering from a brain disorder caused by his biological mother's heavy drinking while pregnant, and claiming he did not get the care he needed from his adoptive mother.
Do we kill brain-damaged, mentally ill, broken people?
The defense claiming Cruz took responsibility for his actions by pleading guilty.
Sentencing Nicholas to life is the right thing to do.
The jury will be sequestered once deliberations begin today. All 12 jurors must agree in order for Cruz to be sentenced to death.
Well, meanwhile, the Biden administration gives an early look at the student loan forgiveness application website ahead of its launch. Officials described the application as simple. The application will be available to borrowers on computers and cell phones. It will also be available in English as well as in Spanish and accessible to people with disabilities. Applicants will be asked for basic information, including their birth date and social security numbers. Back in August, President Biden announced some student loan borrowers can get up to $10,000 forgiven. Pell Grant recipients can get up to $20,000 forgiven. The website is expected to launch later this month, but no exact date has been given at this time. Well, the holidays are getting closer than you may think, but before you make your holiday shopping list, health officials say one of the best gifts you can give yourself and loved ones is an updated COVID-19 booster shot. Sean Langill has the latest on when medical professionals say you should get it so you can be protected at upcoming family gatherings.
The countdown to the holiday season is starting. But as we head into the colder months, the White House says we could also be heading towards a worrisome surge in COVID-19 cases. Officials now urging every eligible American 12 and older to get an updated COVID-19 booster shot by Halloween to help secure the best protection against the virus.
Why Halloween? Because it takes a couple of weeks for your immune system to kind of generate the benefit from that vaccine. And that means you will be ready by Thanksgiving.
Officials pointing to spikes in new COVID-19 cases, deaths, and hospitalizations experienced across the U.S. over the last 2 winters. The CDC reports an average of more than 330 people die every day from the virus, adding about 11.5 million people have received an updated booster so far.
The Commonwealth Fund just put out a new report, a new analysis. They estimate that we can save as many as 90,000 lives and nearly 1 million hospitalizations if most eligible Americans got their updated vaccines.
Meanwhile, health professionals say maintaining an active and healthy lifestyle can help ensure a stronger immune system, which in turn could lower a person's risk of health complications if they were infected with COVID-19.
Being really sedentary, we're eating foods that are low in nutrients, all comes together to create a really pro-inflammatory environment within our bodies. And that means that when we get COVID, that COVID-19 infection is then superimposed onto this pre-existing state of inflammation that can contribute to a lot of the poor outcomes that we're seeing with COVID-19.
Sean Lanchel, Fox News.
And the world has lost an incredible actor. Dame Angela Lansbury has passed away at 96 years old. Lansbury worked for more than 70 years on the stage and screen. She was known for numerous roles, especially as murder novelist Jessica Fletcher on the CBS show Murder, She Wrote. Lansbury's family released a statement saying the children of Dame Angela Lansbury are sad to announce that their mother died peacefully in her sleep at home in Los Angeles at 1:30 a.m. yesterday, just 5 days shy of her 97th birthday.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating. 990-2200.
Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
This morning, just wait until you see the surprise Dwayne Johnson is about to drop on one deserving fan live on national TV.
Shh. You won't want to miss this surprise.
See it happen live this morning only on
Good Morning America.
If they have your personal information, anyone can be you. Spectrum One keeps your personal data safe and private. That's privacy protection. That's Spectrum One.
Wings for Children and Families is hiring youth and child case managers across central and northern Maine for all 6 of our locations. Wings offers a highly supportive work environment where caring and compassionate individuals can make a difference in the lives of children with special needs. Call today, visit our website, or connect with us on Facebook to learn how you can make a referral for services or join our team, where we are highly committed to bringing hope to those we serve. Wings, ranked one of the best places to work in Maine for the last 5 years in a row.
The law. I've been a judge for 40 years. Don't waste my time.
If you break it,
You didn't pay rent.
you'll pay for it.
It's my show. Nobody cares whether you have a personality or not.
Weeknights at 5 on ABC 7. You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is October 12th, 2022. On this day back in 2000, 17 U.S. sailors were killed in a suicide bomb attack against the USS Cole, an American destroyer at a port in Yemen. In 1973, President Richard Nixon named Gerald Ford to succeed Spiro Agnew as vice president. And in 1971, the rock opera Jesus Christ Superstar opened on Broadway. There are also a few famous birthdays today. Actor Hugh Jackman, 54 years old. Olympic gold medal skier Bodie Miller is 45. And broadcast journalist Chris Wallace is 75 years old. Happy birthday to them. Time now to check out your forecast. You'll notice that it's a little warmer today as you head off to work or school or wherever you might be going. And things will be warming up pretty nicely as the day rolls along, too. Here's Devin with your forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. Alrighty, as we start things off this morning, just like yesterday, more dense fog developing in a few spots this morning. So as you do head out the door for any activities this morning or work or school, definitely keep this in mind and just be alert of that this morning. It might be hard to see for a few areas, but this will be going away way rather soon. We do have some other alerts in effect too. Gale watch is in effect until 11 a.m. on Friday, with small craft advisories up until 8 p.m. farther down toward the coast. That's also on Friday. A system is going to be moving through it. It's going to stir the ocean up, so the wave heights that are very low now will get active again later on. But zooming in back here at home, we're looking pretty good. The skies are relatively clear. We just had the fog moving in this morning, but everyone else looking pretty decent. But here's our next system off toward the west, moving off towards the east. Those are good chances for some rain showers coming up later on in the week. But moving forward, though, Futurecast showing increasing clouds throughout the day, and especially into the evening time frame. Maybe more dense fog again, but those clouds holding on for the daytime tomorrow. The winds will be out of the southwest at about 5 miles per hour to start things off. We'll keep them out of the south and increasing a little bit more, which will help to push a little bit more in a way of warm air in our direction. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, warming up into the upper 60s by the afternoon period with a partly cloudy sky. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. And other news today, America's apple production could hit its lowest level in almost a decade because of the weather. Almost 70% of the country's apples come from Washington state, but farmers there are having a tough time this year. Fox News multimedia reporter Jake Karalexis is at an orchard in Washington state with more on the story.
In mid-October, the trees in this orchard are usually full of apples. But after a cold, wet spring, followed immediately by a hot, dry summer, this year, the trees are pretty much empty. And farms are feeling the strain.
We're down big time this year, big time.
Only a few apples are left on the trees of Swan's Trail Farms in Washington state.
It was a variety of different things that made this season such a difficult season dating back to, the year before.
Krause says 2 straight summers of high temperatures and drought have put a dent in this year's supply.
This year we lost about 60% of our crop, comparable to the year past by the amount of apples we took off of our trees.
It's more than just the heat. Washington also had a cold and rainy spring, limiting the amount of pollen in the air which apple trees need.
You had some frosts and some cold weather that impacted pollination and is expected to reduce production.
And some farmers are having trouble making ends meet.
It's really putting a lot of these small family growers on the cusp.
Krause's farm increased their apple prices this year to $3.50 a pound, up from $3 a pound, to make up for the smaller supply. They're hoping that's the last increase they'll have to make.
In farming, you're just going to have those years, and you can only you have to weather yourself, for those bad years.
Krause says people can usually come out any time between mid-September and mid-October to pick apples from the orchard. But this year, they only had enough apples for 3 days of picking. In Snohomish, Washington, Jake Karalexis, Fox News.
Well, Maine has a new Teacher of the Year. 9th grade social studies teacher Matt Bernstein from Casco Bay High School was chosen as the 2023 Teacher of the Year. His selection was announced during a surprise event held yesterday morning. Teachers of the Year are recognized for a commitment to teaching excellence and nurturing the achievement of all students. They spend a year of service advocating for students and teachers and speaking to the importance of education and preparing Maine students for the future. Congratulations to him. A Clinton couple is using their quilting talents to provide warmth and comfort to complete strangers. Jim and Fran Posick say they love creating and donating their handmade blankets. And as Jody Hersey tells us, Jim just completed his 1,000th quilt for charity.
The pieces, the front, the back, and the batting, and I assemble them. It's called a sandwich. I put a sandwich together.
79-year-old Jim Posick is a veteran and former mechanic who loves working with his hands. Most days, you'll find him in his basement quilting.
Using your brain and being physically active has been something I thought about to stave off Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever. You need to use your brain to keep it busy.
It's Posik's mechanical mind that gave him the idea to computerize his long-arm quilting machine so he could make more blankets in a shorter amount of time. In the last 3 years, he has successfully completed 1,000 quilts.
Number 1,000, which is right here, I still enjoy looking at the pattern coming out.
Jim's wife, Fran, who is his biggest fan, is also an avid quilter.
Oh, it's like a quilt show every day. 1,000, that's amazing. People that quilt for a living do not produce that number of quilts.
The duo's handiwork is all donated to the Somerset Samplers, Quilts of Valor, and Project Linus, all organizations that help others.
Because like my daddy said, you can't live somewhere and not give back. You can't just take, you've got to give back.
In Clinton, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC7 and Fox 22.
Very nice. Well, still to come here on the Morning Report, Tyler Cruz in with all the day's sports news. But first, another check at our forecast. Not a bad day. We will have lots of clouds, but the temperature's up near 70 degrees, a high of 69. More clouds tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day with a high near 66.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms. Freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. Winning car accident cases is what we do. Check out a few of our big wins.
I injured my torso, and they got me $195,000. What did the twos do for you?
I needed foot surgery, and they got me $215,000. What did the twos do for you?
I broke multiple bones, and Lowry & Associates got me $450,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home the Kubota VX Series for 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months, plus save up to $700.
The University of Maine Black Bears take on the Monmouth Hawks this Saturday at 1 on your local sports leader, ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some high school sports here. Early on Tuesday, I got the chance to talk to the newest head coach of the newest high school hockey team in Maine, as Michael Keim looks to lead the Penobscot Pioneers into battle this season. Here's my interview with Coach Keim ahead of the start of the year next month. I am here with Michael Keim, new head coach of the Penobscot Pioneers. Michael, thanks for coming with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So just to start, how does it feel, the first varsity hockey girls head coach north of Winslow? How does it feel to be a Pioneer, both literally and figuratively?
Well, I've been a fan of Denver University since Jim Montgomery was there, but it's great to have Pioneers on the East Coast here. But no, it's a great opportunity to be teaching women how to play the game, and just it's awesome to have this here.
Denver University, did you catch a game this weekend with Maine?
I did not. I was watching the Greta Van Fleet concert, and then when I looked at the end time, I was a little bummed out, but that's okay. That's all right.
It was good. I mean, scored 3-1, but I digress. We'll get back on topic here. When you saw the opening for this head coaching job, what made you want to throw your name in the hat?
Well, I played hockey here since I was a kid, and I had a lot of teammates that were women. And in high school, there were a lot of women that were on a lot of teams, and that would have been an awesome opportunity for them. When I saw the opportunity, I got really excited. I talked to the missus, and she said I should go for it. And I had others around me saying that I should go for that opportunity, and I put my name in the hat. And I'm just happy that I was selected by the local ADs to lead these women. I'm looking forward to it.
Why do you think you are the right man for the job? Why do you think they threw their vote of confidence in your favor as well?
Well, I think what helped was my experience in head coaching from the prep high school, but also with the local Bangor lacrosse team that I coach there, developing trust with the players, organization with practice plans, and being able to develop more rounded people, because that's where I start with. If we make better people first, then the player will be easy enough to fix. But I think that my experience with being in the MPA and traveling and having a flexible schedule was also a bonus as well.
You were at John Baps behind the bench, right, as an assistant hockey coach?
Yeah, I was an assistant coach with Andy Stevenson and Chris Tanis. Andy and Chris taught me a lot about how to be a coach, and just that experience I'm going to be taking into this group here. And I think that if it works, let's keep that going.
Were there any girls on that John Baps team, just out of curiosity, and are they coming over to play here?
At the time when I was coaching over there, we had two. We had Kira, who was an edit, and Kayla. Kayla, who is a defenseman. I don't know if there are any BAPS players that are coming over, but I hope that they do. I hope that the women in the league come around here, because we could really make a really good push for this season and really surprise a lot of teams.
That was going to be my next question. Have you met the team yet, and what are your expectations, your initial impressions of the group?
I haven't met the team yet. I've been talking a lot with coaches that have worked with the players in the summertime, and I'm hearing a lot of really good things. Very coachable athletes, very good athletes in general. I want to see what they look like for the next couple of days on November 7th to the 9th, and then working and developing a system that works for the team.
Awesome. And then just last question, what are your next steps in the process after being selected just a couple weeks ago?
Well, I've been dusting off a couple of the books just to try to brush up on my teaching skills and whatnot, because I always think it's good to review the knowledge that you have. Also, we're going to be wrapping up some hires with my staff, because it's not just me. We're going to be having staff that are really going to be giving up their time to develop the women that we have here to really make a run at this thing.
Well, that season starts November 7th. That's when their practice starts. Looking forward to see what they can do on the ice here. Very historic team up in this area. Let's stay with some high school sports now. Let's check out some girls soccer action over at Bangor Christian. Patriots at home. They are hosting Panquist Valley. We will pick this one up late in the first half. The game's tied 1-1. Patriots looking to take a lead. Nice pass here from Grace Lewis to Libby Payne, but a nice play from Brooklyn Decker to keep the game tied. Second half now, Eileen Strout looking for Addison Conklin, and a nice save here from the Patriots. Both goalies played well. Patriots now, Lindsay Durst with a chance, but Decker there again for the save. Can't get that left foot to go. Still 1-1. Second half still, chance here for Lewis, but this one is just going to squeak by the net. It gets past Decker, but it just misses. We are still scoreless, and again, some really good goalie play from both sides in this one. And after 2 overtime periods and a scoreless second half, final score ends in a tie, 1-1. Let's go back to hockey now, and down in Portland. It was back to work on Tuesday for the Maine Mariners, who held their first practice of the season. The Mariners are returning their core from last year's playoff team, who made the playoffs for the first time in program history. We have some new faces sprinkled in down there as well. And on Tuesday, there were 4 former Black Bears on the ice. Tim Doherty, Pat Shea, Cam Spicer, who's here on a tryout, and Mitch Fossier, the former captain, who says it has been a blast playing alongside some of his former college teammates.
So I know the area pretty well and got a few buddies from school on the team, so yeah, it really does. It feels like I'm kind of stepping right back in the swing of things. So cool. It's so much fun to be able to come back, and like they're 2 of my best friends, so just by chance it worked out that we all ended up on the same team. So yeah, it's a blast, and I'm getting a room with a few of them right now, so it makes it so much more fun to be able to experience something like that with them.
Sounds good to me. It looks like a blast down there. Can't wait for that season to start. Hopefully they are back in the playoffs like they were last year. That is all the time we have for sports, though. We will be right back after the break.
Find meaningful work in behavioral health care, like Shelby, who works in multiple settings caring for children with a background of trauma.
I was motivated to join the behavioral health field because I had decided that I was going to advocate for children with similar backgrounds to my own. As a younger person, I find that the most rewarding part of my job as a behavioral health professional is the emotional gratification in seeing my clients succeed.
Learn more about compassionate careers at caringforme.org.
With my hectic life, you'd think retirement would be the last thing on my mind. Thankfully, Voya provides comprehensive solutions and shows me how to get the most out of my workplace benefits. Voya helps me feel like I got it all under control.
for you. Well planned, well invested, well protected.
Mainers took Jared Golden at his word, but he just broke his promise. Golden was a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill, even though he knew reckless spending would make inflation worse and everything more expensive. What's worse? Golden and Biden hiked taxes $1 billion on those making less than $50,000. Jared Golden, independent when convenient, liberal when it mattered. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, chances are you have lots of questions. Norm Prouty has answers. Learn some tips and tricks and explore some beautiful homes on the market. The Norm Prouty and Donnell Baker Real Estate Show, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on ABC 7.
Welcome back, everyone. Not a bad day ahead today. We will see plenty of clouds, but it will be quite warm for this time of year. Here's Devin Biggs with our full forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. Alrighty, dense fog is kind of the name of the game this morning. No alerts in effect at this point, though, but we're noticing near the Waterville area, near Rockland, just to name a few areas. Then further out towards the east as well, this may overspread a little bit more with a few other areas where we're seeing good visibility. So just keep that in mind. You might notice some dense fog or patchy fog in a few areas. But of course, with everything going on, we do have gale watches that are in effect, lasting till about 2 p.m. on Friday. While further down toward the south, though, we do have small craft advisories up until 8 p.m. on Friday as well. A system is going to be moving in. It's going to really help to stir the ocean up, courtesy of all the excitement moving in as we move forward later in the week. But for now, though, we're looking pretty good out there. We do have plenty of clear skies to start things off, so the fog will be going away later this morning as the sun comes out. As to give you the big picture, though, high pressure is right nearby. It's this system we have our eye on. This will give us showers moving in later on in the week and maybe even some heavy downpours from time to time, too, as we head towards Friday and even into parts of Saturday as well. The wave heights, man, look how calm this is right now. You can tell high pressure is nearby because we're at around 1 to 2 feet right now. Of course, with low pressure moving in soon, I'll stir up the ocean. Yesterday, we hit the upper 50s, which was a couple of degrees below normal, as our average high temperature is at 60 degrees. We'll be in the upper 60s today. We'll be above normal. Then we'll stay in the lower to middle 60s for the next several days, at least through Monday. Then back in the middle 50s as we head towards your Tuesday. So yet again, another cool down on the way. Latest fall foliage, this is from last week. A new one comes out later today, so we might see some changes with these reports out of Millinocket, Bangor, Ellsworth, and Greenville. Many of us are reporting near peak or at peak. We'll start seeing some more of these change as, of course, things progress forward. Futurecast moving forward, though, fog this morning will be going away. We'll be watching for increasing clouds throughout the rest of the daytime period, though. Then later on tonight, though, clouds and, of course, more fog again. But as the day moves on, the fog goes away, but the clouds stick around. But any chances for precipitation should hold off until we head towards your Friday, with a long line of showers and a few rumbles of thunder may be possible in a few areas. For today, we're dry. Upper 60s, partly cloudy. The south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 40s, mostly cloudy with areas of dense fog again. The south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy. We should stay dry for most of the day. Highs in the mid-60s. A gusty south wind up to around 25 miles per hour. Boosted Auto and Diesel extended forecast. The rain really gets going by Friday, lingering into Saturday. Temperatures in the low to middle 60s those days. The remaining in the middle 60s as we head towards your Sunday with a partly cloudy sky.
Feel the difference of alpaca apparel from the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store in Belfast. Stop by their ranch location to interact with these amazing animals and enjoy the beautiful Maine outdoors with your very own alpaca walk. Shop in-store or online today and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. With their incredible selection of socks, sweaters, hats, and more, experience the unique qualities that alpaca fiber brings with the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carroll Harper & Associates today.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
When Ryan White of Hartley's in Newport wants to know his weather, he logs on to foxbangor.com. Ryan has been with Hartley's for 3 years, and he looks to make your buying experience fast, fun, and easy, and with multiple repeat customers, it's fair to say you won't be disappointed.
You eat like you took a cooking class in prison.
Whoa! I'm big fine, too confident.
Ava, I forgot to drop off that discipline report to you.
You are no longer speaking to work, Ava. You can speak to her tomorrow. I understood the assignment.
Let's head over to the Mr. Food Test Kitchen now, where they're cooking up a delicious fall favorite.
It's apple season, and that means our markets and farm stands are brimming with all sorts of freshly picked apples. And right now, they're at some pretty good prices. So besides eating them as is, we came up with an apple shortbread bar that I can only describe as, well, how about appleicious? To make this shortbread crust, we beat together some butter, sugar, and a little vanilla. Once it's creamy, we add some flour and a bit of salt. This gets pressed into the bottom of an 8-inch square baking dish, and it gets baked for just a few minutes. While that's in the oven, we toss peeled and sliced apples with some sugar, flour, cinnamon, and a little nutmeg. On top of our baked crust goes a crumb mixture that we made by combining some brown sugar with flour and butter. The apples go over that before finishing it off with more of the crumb topping, and then we pop it back into the oven. Once it cools, it's ready to serve. Imagine the combo of the best apple pie and a really decadent apple cobbler served on a shortbread crust. To get the recipe for what we call our apple cobbler shortbread square, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fresh from the orchard way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
That one does look pretty good. Well, Build-A-Bear says it is bringing back a fan favorite collaboration. The retail company announced a Hello Kitty collection is on the way, but they did not release further details. Fans who want to be the first to know about the release can sign up for exclusive email notification on the Build-A-Bear website. There's a new version of a popular holiday drink. Breakfast company Kellogg's is partnering up with Sugarland's Distilling Company to release a new eggnog. The new drink is called Eggnog. It is a rum-based liqueur with a hint of cinnamon and nutmeg. Kellogg says the drink pairs well with Eggo's thick and fluffy waffles. Eggnog will be available in select retailers across the country throughout the holiday season. Now you can, I guess, start drinking with your breakfast. Is that what they're saying? I do not judge. Well, Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. Stay with us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22. We hope you have a great day.
I've been having foot pain for at least 10 years. The first day I put the key boot on, I could tell the difference. My pain level has been so much better. I was amazed. The key boots made it possible for me to actually walk without pain. I can go shopping, walking around the store without wanting to cry. I mean, I feel like dancing sometimes. The key boots made all the difference. Very happy with it. Comfort shoes, it's just changed my life.
Don't be scared to buy a boat this season at Hamlin's Marine on the Belfast waterfront. Starting October 18th and running through Halloween, this is your ticket to the best boat deals completely scare-free. Featuring all-in-stock boat packages, outboards, boats, and trailers 15 to 25% off. Spooky good deals. At Hamlin's Marine, we are powered by Yamaha Outboard, and we have more than 20 boat packages on display, with easy loader trailers too. Stop into the Belfast waterfront and don't be scared to buy a boat at Hamlin's Marine.
Think about this. Everything you own is an